It just takes it to the next level. It takes what we were doing at a very manual, and very kind of raw way, and it automates that at all. And our auditors love it. Not only do they love Apexa, but even before that, they loved our device compliance. Mm-hmm. Like, we haven't seen anybody doing this. I cannot wait to see when the regulators, the auditors start coming back in again and say, oh, remember that device compliance we were doing? Look at it now. So now with Apexa, when you're comparing those devices, it's actually finding rogue devices that you have this rogue device detection for that isn't catching things. Nice. Yeah. It's also super valuable from a check the checker kind of system. Mm-hmm. Validate that your systems are where they're supposed to be. So I have things like antivirus in there, whether it's cloud-based or on-prem based. I have cybersecurity softwares in there. I've got patching systems. I've got help desk systems that are scanning networks and collecting information. I can really collect now and see across those systems what the differences are and what's not reporting right. We'll check to see if the antivirus health is in a good status. And then sometimes we'll want to take that exact query and say, I want to flip it around and find the opposite. Wow. What's not compliant, right? So the power of Apexa is part of the query building. Even the reports I was doing before that are now super enhanced with Apexa. Yeah. You know what? I like to eat dinner at nighttime. I like to go out with friends at nighttime. I like to sleep at nighttime. And having that peace of mind to know that all my devices, I've done the best I can do. Yeah. Having that peace of mind and that double check of all the hard work that my team puts in day after day after day, upgrading this and that, trying to keep up with this patch and that patch. Having that peace of mind makes it a lot easier to go to dinner at night and have a good night's rest.
It's not just an asset management. You have the ownership identification in there. You have asset true-ups and hygiene from that perspective, right? I'm glad to see when the next time auditor comes in, what their reaction is going to be.
I'm excited too. With Apexa, not only am I finding like that there's 2-3 computers that don't have antivirus, I'm finding major configuration issues in other cybersecurity software.
Right.
If there was ever an investigation that said, hey, we think that your Wi-Fi was used to launch an attack. Yeah. Right. It's not part of my network. My network's safe. Yeah. But if the police ever come knocking and the FBI ever come knocking, I'm gonna have data of who was there.
You go into Apexa and the data is there.
Yeah, it's
as
right
long
there.
As you're keeping.
Yep,
data.
exactly. Yeah. Whereas in the other applications reporting that, it might be purged every 5 days, 10 days. Yeah. But I have it in Apexa. I think the team you have here is probably a big reason why Apexa.
Thank you.
There's another good reason why Fidelity Bank and Apexa IQ are a good fit for each other. I think we're very culturally aligned from an organizational standpoint.
We just got ISO 27001 certified. Thank you very much. Now it takes a village. You're part of it, right?
Yeah.
Because your contracts with all that stuff, you're part of it. But do you have that 6 policies in CrowdStrike are actually applied to all the devices? It's absolutely yes. It's a global policy. Mm-hmm. No, it's not a global policy. It depends upon the mood of the person who has the device in it and he's enabling it.
Well, and that's exactly when we met. That's the first thing I said is, first of all, you have to know what your inventory is, right? Mm-hmm. If you don't know what your inventory, how can you protect your data if you don't know what your inventory is? Yeah. So okay, great. Do all your devices have antivirus? Yep. I looked at my antivirus and it says all of them have it. Tell me which ones don't have it.
Yes.
You can't tell me which ones don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I have 6 different systems I'm looking at, and there's a system here that's not there, I know which one doesn't have it.
Yes.
And then they need to follow the next logical question. When is the last time the AV was updated? If you're not asking that question, how can you protect your organization?
That's why I wanted to ask you about your compliance. That goes into the compliance thing. First thing first, let's clear out a couple of things. Brad, thank you very much today, by the way. I can't be more thankful to you to come in here. We just found out today, by the way, you beat another company by 3 days. You are the first. You are an official first customer of Apexa.
It's an honor.
It's an honor for me as well because I still remember my first call with you. was in
I
the
do as
car,
well.
And you were like, finish it. You prototype your spreadsheets. I'm just doing something like that. I'm trying to do something like that.
Mhm.
I do it. I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to do this every month. I get the data from all these systems. I put it in the spreadsheets and I'm doing it. And you're telling me exactly that you have built a platform for it. I am in. Right? That gave me such a power at that time. There are people like me. It's since that day, 2 years ago, till today, I appreciate everything that you've done for Apexa.
I'm happy to be on board. I believe in it. That first conversation, it was funny to sit there and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's other people that are doing this. There's other people that care about this stuff. And the second you showed me the platform, I'm like, I can see how I can take this even further now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we can talk about dates. We can talk about health statuses. We talked about like a stupid thing like lapsed passwords from Active Directory, right? Does anybody check to see if those are actually working?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So when's the last time they changed? Where are they storing those passwords? There's a lot of, it just takes it to the next level. It takes what we were doing at a very manual and very kind of raw way, and it automates that at all, and let's take us to the next level. And our auditors love it. They love, not only do they love Apexa, but even before that, they loved our device compliance.
Mm-hmm.
Like we haven't seen anybody doing this. I cannot wait to see when the regulators, the auditors start coming back in again and saying, oh, remember that device compliance we were doing? Look at it now.
Awesome. I feel proud. I just feel proud because this is why the Apexa was built. Right? To solve a problem for people like you.
Yeah.
Because I had this problem myself. And I wanted to solve it. Right?
Yeah.
And no, I as I said, it was amazing. But can you talk about your compliance policy a little bit? I love what you just said. You know, Active Directory, Sophos, and those, how inside that you go.
Yeah, and you and I have kind of talked about this before, but one of the important things is we have all these different applications that are built for cybersecurity. A lot of them do scanning, so you can talk about the Nessuses, the Tenables, the Taegis VDRs out there, right? And they're scanning your network, right? Well, if you have 3 or 4 different applications doing this, when you're using Apexa, and then you're now, even our old device compliance, but even more so now with Apexa, when you're comparing those devices, it's actually finding rogue devices that you have this rogue device detection for that isn't catching things.
Nice. Yeah.
Because I love it from a device compliance standpoint, but it's also super valuable from a check the checker kind of system.
Mm-hmm.
Validate that your systems are where they're supposed to be. So I have things like antivirus in there, whether it's cloud-based or on-prem based. I have cybersecurity softwares in there. I've got patching systems. I've got help desk systems that are scanning networks and collecting information. I can really collect now and see across those systems what the differences are and what's not reporting right.
Mm-hmm.
So I can easily find devices that may be more. It's great to run a vulnerability scan against a PC and it says, oh, well, you got some patches missing and, blah, blah. But this tells me if I don't have an antivirus up to date. I mean, vulnerability scanning will do some of that, but not to the level of detail that this is doing.
And you have Active Directory compliance policy as well, that's something related to the passwords. I've never seen anybody else do that.
Yeah, lapse. I mean, so we have the lapse policy. If everybody knows it, it's the local administrator password tool that changes the passwords every 45 days to make sure that there's not time for someone to do some kind of hash attack against it and get in. Well, does anybody check to see if they're ever really changing?
Wow. And at the same time, I saw that you have some Sophos compliance policies, you have XDR compliance policies. You are going deep into, you're actually using Apexa, what Apexa is built for. You help us build a lot of that on top of that, but you're actually using Apexa the way it's supposed to be.
There are days when our brains hurt.
Okay.
Because we're trying to figure out what is the right query that's going to get what we're looking for.
Okay.
Right. So we'll take those. We'll add some feed updates. We'll put in some dates. The last password changed. We'll check to see if the antivirus health is in a good status. And then sometimes we'll want to take that exact query and say, I want to flip it around and find the opposite.
Wow.
What's not compliant, right? So the power of Apexa is part of the query building. And it's easy once you get used to it, but it still takes brain power. It's going to take a lot of brain to figure out what are you really trying to find? It's in there. How do you write it? It's a lot of fun.
Wow.
We spend hours doing it sometimes. It's easy to find.
It's easy to find. It's simple. And we're making that the things that you guys have built, we're trying to make them more standard, out of the box policies now.
And I think that's going to come. I mean, I think that's going to come too with as the customer base grows and user groups and people have conversations. I think there's going to be ways to build, out of the box reports that are going to be great, but they're still going to be customized to your environment.
Absolutely.
I mean, you mentioned kind of like with the insurance company, the way the insurance companies are going right now, they're really looking at this and saying, we need to make sure that the people we're covering are safe. So they're getting smarter and smarter about not only asking you, do you have antivirus or do you have dual factor authentication? Prove to me you have it. And that's where tools like this can be helpful to, without making up stories or the data, it doesn't lie. It's in the data, it doesn't lie.
It's a real time.
It is.
Yeah, it's a very near real time data, and data doesn't lie. And now the insurance companies are comfortable and the customer is comfortable. It's comfortable on both sides. It's like what we are trying to say, the companies, you can have a really good night's sleep now. Companies are actually comfortable, right? Nobody wants to get hacked, right? You have insurance just in case. So, but insurer people are now comfortable that, hey, my platform is good. It's actually converted into a score. And if there is a gaps, I know about them now, right? It's about knowing. It's about visibility. It's about knowing all your gaps and then do something about it. This is where a third pillar comes in now, right? It's the remediation piece that we haven't introduced you guys to yet, but that's something that you guys should start using now.
I mean, things, even the reports I was doing before that are now super enhanced with Apexa.
Yeah.
You know what? I like to eat dinner at nighttime. I like to go out with friends at nighttime. I like to sleep at nighttime. And having that peace of mind to know that all my devices, I've done the best I can do.
Yeah.
Having that peace of mind and that double check of all the hard work that my team puts in day after day after day, upgrading this and that, trying to keep up with this patch and that patch. Having that peace of mind makes it a lot easier to go to dinner at night and have a good night's rest.
I'm so happy to hear that because one of the other guys said Apexa is like a big brother for me, right?
Yeah.
Apexa is a big brother
Good
for
analogy.
me now, and we've done like exactly what you said, right? We fixed everything, or we're about to fix everything. We know what we're doing. We have created every compliance policies. If something goes wrong or something does not comply to my benchmarks, it's gonna let me know. You have a big brother watching over now that what you exactly said, that I can go out and have some fun. Right? Peace of mind is what we are trying to do, and you get that with Apexa. I'm so happy, so proud to know that, right? It's not just an asset management. You have the ownership identification in there. You have asset true ups and hygiene from that perspective, right? I'm glad to see when the next time auditor comes in, what their reaction is going to be.
I'm excited too. I mean, one of the other things, Rakesh, is that not only I kind of used the antivirus as a good example. I look at my antivirus console. It says I have 310 devices. Look, it shows they all have antivirus on them. That's great, but I have these scans running. I do a comparison. I have found with Apexa, not only am I finding that there's 2-3 computers that don't have antivirus, I'm finding major configuration issues in other cybersecurity software, such as if you have a Nessus vulnerability scanner and you bump it up against your antivirus tool and you find out, hey, there's 50 computers that aren't being scanned by the vulnerability scanner. Why is that? Come to find out it's a configuration issue because you're missing one of your networks or something like that.
Oh wow, okay, yeah.
So it's more than just that one asset problem. You're finding configuration issues. I mean, I think you probably remember some of we found a lot of stale DNS records. Is that really necessarily a bad security vulnerability? No, probably not, but something you're gonna want to clean up at some point, right? So it's helpful for even just good hygiene of your network.
Wow. Never thought about that. Actually, so you guys are actually using Apexa to fix your third party, the platforms itself, the misconfigurations that there are in there, to make sure that it's actually get cleaned up, cleared up properly.
Yeah, long term, because
the way I use it, the maximizing the use of your platforms the right way.
It's good hygiene because things get confused. So I mean, hopefully not a lot of things are being using NetBIOS anymore, but one application cybersecurity might be using NetBIOS name, and another one might be using DNS. So when they come into Apexa, you find the records aren't matching.
Ah, wow, okay.
Right? So good hygiene says if you have an asset named Laptop 1, it better be named Laptop 1 everywhere.
Great, yeah.
We find it a lot with printers where people went in and changed the name of the printer 20 years ago, and then someone came in and they started creating DNS entries for them, and you're finding things that don't match. Yeah. So you think one of your applications, you might think you're scanning the right device, but maybe you're scanning the wrong device. Okay. You might be scanning a completely different device.
Wow. So the other thing that people are doing nowadays is like software bill of material, right? The software, that information that you're getting as a part of the asset tracking, right? Is it helping at all? I know you guys don't have too much technical depth, right? You were the only first company who I saw in Genius, and you guys are, I think, still Genius, or you guys are a little below Genius right now?
We are Genius for everything that's compliant.
Okay.
Right. So, and that's kind of where we're at in our journey on this. Is now we're really digging into those one-offs and where we're not compliant. But anything that meets our compliance is Genius. So, well, obviously it wouldn't be compliant if it wasn't. But yeah, we are Genius. I mean, we kind of mentioned, like, if you have rogue assets that are outside of your network that are being pulled in from one of the applications, I mentioned like Meraki.
Yeah.
Right. It's going to show me not as a Genius score, but those aren't my devices. They're not touching my network, even though there's something reporting that they're...
You can have exceptions for those.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Absolutely.
They will not be calculated in your score, and you okay.
Yeah, or I can do query. I can do a query.
Query and just reject them.
Exactly.
No garbage in, garbage out is what we talked about a lot, right? That if you don't want to bring that in and you think this is not part of your device, you can just...
In this case, you know what? They're not my assets, but I'm happy to know that they're somewhere around my environment.
I like that, actually. I think it will get you a brownie point with your auditors at that point. That, hey, I know if something goes wrong or somebody did cyber something through my branch, I will know who the device was.
Exactly.
Right?
If there was ever an investigation that said, hey, we think that your Wi-Fi was used to launch an attack.
Yeah.
Right? It's not part of my network. My network's safe.
Yeah.
But if the police ever come knocking and the FBI ever come knocking, I'm gonna have data of who was there.
You go into Apexa and the data is there
as long
as you're keeping the data.
Exactly. Whereas in the other applications reporting that, it might be purged every 5 days, 10 days.
Yeah.
But I have it in Apexa.
Yeah. That's amazing. The last question I always ask, and this is, you can take your time and think about it. Why Apexa? First you were a customer, and then you became my advisor.
Yep.
Because you helped me build this platform, right? So think about why. What do you like about Apexa? It can be anything. Come from your heart.
Well, I mean, we're family, right?
Yes, we are family.
No, ever since the first conversation, the problem that you were trying to solve, I was trying to solve without all the resources that you had to solve it.
Okay.
Really? I believe in the mission and what Apexa is trying to accomplish with software. I mean, that, from a customer standpoint, there's not a question about that. And then the team that you've built is absolutely incredible to work with, from engineers to project managers to they have, not only are they developers or engineers, but they're listening to the business reason of why we're doing what we're doing, and they're understanding that before they're making decisions. So I really appreciate the team that's really helped us integrate this. It's been a pleasure to, I'm going to say, help develop the product. I obviously haven't touched any code whatsoever, but I'm like, if we did this, then we could see this, and your team makes it happen. So I think the team you have here is probably a big reason why Apexa.
Thank you. Thank you. It means a lot. I can tell you that. It means a lot.
That's another good reason why Fidelity Bank and Apexa IQ are a good fit for each other. I think we're very culturally aligned from an organizational standpoint. We're in banking. It's a little bit stuffier. It's a little bit more traditional. However, one of the things that we do in our organization is we fit people more so by their personality, their ability to learn, than we do they're just pure technical strengths. If I bring in a person that's a developer that cannot communicate, that does not fit with my culture.
Yep. We just got ISO 27001 certified. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Now it takes a village. You're part of it, right?
Yeah.
Because your contracts with all that stuff, you're part of it. But it took a village. From my side, I can't thank you enough.
I'm happy to finally be here. It's been a great journey. It's what it's been. It's been a little bit over a year now.
Yeah.
It's been a great adventure. It's been fun to work on. I love working with the team. So.
Thank you. No, they love working with you.
Yeah.
Because
I'm pretty reasonable usually.
You're very good. No, but they love it.
It's a great team.
It's a.
You can tell everyone truly believes in the mission and enjoys working with each other. It's easy to see.